I would like to call this meeting of the Festus City Council to order. Roll call, please.
Councilman Boyer,
Here.
Councilman Collier,
Here.
Councilman Templeton, Councilman Weiner, Councilman Dennis, Councilman Venz,
Here.
Councilman Cook,
Here.
Councilman Tenen.
We do have a quorum. Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. Tonight's bills total $617,260.83. So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Roll call, please.
Councilman Cook,
Yes.
Councilman Collier,
Yes.
Councilman Venz,
Yes.
Councilman Tenen, Councilman Boyer.
Yes.
Motion passes. The consent agenda has passed. Remarks of visitors. Mr. Hagan, you're up.
Hello, my name is Chris Hagan. I live at 10236 Huntington Ridge, Festus, Missouri. I'm here to talk about the building at 101 East Main Street, which is at the corner of Main Street and Adams Street. And you guys probably aren't going to believe this, but I'm here to talk about water. So I did have a lovely conversation with Matt earlier today. And then I went to Sherwin-Williams to look for the same type of paint that you've got out front that possibly we could paint those rocks with. They didn't think that would work since there was so much sand and stuff underneath it. They thought that the paint might come off. So they were recommending something to keep the water from seeping in to that area. I don't know. It's completely out of my realm of expertise. Zach from the water department is amazing because, as many of you know, whenever they open the fire hydrants, they're on Adams Street, they've repaved the street so much. So you used to have about this much between the street and the sidewalk. In some spaces, you've only got an inch or two all the way down. So whenever they open the fire hydrant, that starts at the sidewalk behind the old Commerce Bank and goes all the way to Main Street, makes a right on the handicapped accessible sidewalk, and then goes down the rest of the way through Main Street, although there is a drain there that catches most of that water. I told Zach the problem I was having with the AT&T manhole, so he started laying out some sandbags that kept the water off of the AT&T manholes. You guys know I did contact AT&T. They've not contacted me back. It's like a miracle. I don't know what happened. I have no clue what happened. Somebody caulked the manhole cover shut so no water can get inside the manhole cover. So I haven't had any problems there. But in fact, Zach had it open today. So all that water goes on that 4-foot by 30-foot piece of cobblestone. And then for those of us that were like Dave Vaughn that remembers how stuff is, underneath that asphalt is about 3 feet of sand. So once it makes its way through that asphalt pavers, it just goes straight down to the sand whenever that fills up, and that's whenever it's getting into this particular building. We did have problems with the other building that I own on Main Street, but we haven't had a problem with that in a couple of years. So that's where I'm at, working with Matt. Hopefully we'll come up with some sort of a solution. I might need to get with Zach. I don't know how often you guys have to drain or flush the fire hydrant, but maybe if there was a sandbag to keep the water off of that 4-foot by 30-foot section right there to the very end, that might help solve my problem. Again, my tenant calls and just screams. I've never seen anything like it. But it is a very effective negotiating tool. So I'm trying to keep him from having to get involved. I think that was it, and I'll be back in touch with you, Matt. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Giving something back to the community.
I don't think they were gonna attend. I think they're having their march again this year.
Yes,
And the information's in your packet. I think they just wanted to make everyone aware of it in case you wanted to attend.
yes, the information is in the packet. The march is January 14th. Starts at 2 p.m. It starts at the First Baptist Church in Crystal City and ends up at the Crystal City High School auditorium where they'll have a short program. Will be immediately after the march. If the weather isn't very nice, we can use vehicles to ride in. So there it is. There's the information. Is there any other questions about that?
We'll be using vehicles.
Yes. Moving right along. Bids. The first bid is for Joggers pickleball court renovation. Staff report, please.
Thank you, Mayor, City Council. You have in here a change order recommendation after meetings with Jim Berger, Mr. Pickleball, Councilman Weiner, obviously Park Director Brian, or I should say Josh Whaley, and the folks at McConnell and Associates. There were some modifications that they recommended to the pickleball renovations. Excuse me. Some additional sidewalk, the fencing to be raised to 8 feet on the south side, some double fence gates, some black windscreen, and then some receptacles that could be used on the west side of the court. The total amount of the change order proposed here is $28,710. You recall the budget for the project is $500,000. The bid from McConnell came in at $498 with a contingency of $25,000. I don't want to necessarily bank on us being able to not spend the contingency, but I would like for us to consider raising the total budget project cost to $526,800, which would take in all of the changes proposed here.
Is there any discussion? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the change order to make the total project cost $526,800.
So moved. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Roll call, please.
Councilman Venz,
Yes.
Councilman Collier,
Yes.
Councilman Tenen,
Yes.
Councilman Boyer,
Yes.
Councilman Cook.
Yes. Motion passes. Our next bid is for engineering services for the Salt Dome. Staff report, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of City Council. For your consideration this evening, I prepared my staff report describing the use of some engineering services to get a final design for our salt structure. As you know, we put the salt structure in the budget this year that will hold an entire barge load of salt, so that when we need salt, we have a reserve, basically a reserve of 1,500 tons. And so that reserve will be located out near where the old lagoon site was, well 10, and where the fire training facility is. There's a aerial photograph in your packet that shows the proposed location. That that location comes with some difficulty. As you may know, it's a kind of a riparian area, a conservation area. There's some low spots there, but we're going to be moving over to the north side of that access road into that hillside. And so we'd avoid most of that, but the engineer is going to make sure that we get all the right paperwork filed with the county and with the state, and we're going to get all the right permits so we get this thing built and we protect both water quality for our wellhead and the nature and the wildlife that make that area home. So we believe we can do this and do it the right way, get the thing built just as we described in the budget. So this is a $50,000 not to exceed figure for the engineering necessary to make that happen. I'm happy to answer any questions.
The road going back there, Matt,
Mhm.
you know, is smooth as can be, you know, that. fire chief.
It's not very smooth.
Is there, any improvements you're gonna be for that?
I mean, we've got that
Or
asphalt.
in-house improvements?
We've
I
got
guess?
that asphalt sled. I mean, we could put a lane of new asphalt down that road if you wanted. It's not in the budget, but it's something that we could do. It's
I
not a-
I don't know if you have to, I mean, just to improve it a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, asphalt maybe down the road, but the more solid you get it, because
Well, I mean, it's a little bit of it's kind
Yeah.
of a chip seal road right now, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's old asphalt grindings is what it's kind of made of now. So yes, we could smooth it out, but I think asphalt really is the solution.
well, yeah, it would be. I mean, especially when you have to go back here a lot more to get.
Right.
You're gonna definitely,
Hey,
I think we could get a good base down though.
Yes.
Mark, this is in the floodplain, not the floodway, correct?
Yes.
That's my only concern.
right, yeah.
So you'll issue the floodplain development permit? So you'll issue the floodplain development permit, so we're by the book? So they moved it then?
Mhm. It's up the hill. But we're still, kind of handling it with kid gloves. We want to make sure that we realize we're just a few feet of elevation outside that. So we're being very, very careful with that. Yeah.
Is there any other discussion? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve a engineering services with design group not to exceed 50,000.
So move.
second,
Motion's been made and seconded. Roll call, please.
Councilman Collier,
Yes.
Councilman Vins,
yes.
Councilman Tenen,
Yes.
Councilman Cook,
Yes.
Councilman Boyd.
Yes.
Motion passes. Moving right along, tonight we have Bill 4756 on the agenda. Would the clerk please read the bill for the first time?
Bill number 4756, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Festus, Missouri, approving the final plat of Birchwood Overlook and establishing an effective date.
Bill 4756 is now open for discussion. Staff report, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. This is the subdivision for Giselle. It's completing out of Birchwood Overlook. It's additional 19 lots. We sent this through P and Z last month, November. This is what was also the preliminary plat came through here in June. They've got all the infrastructure installed and they are ready to begin building.
Bill 4756 now open for discussion. Go ahead.
Mark, I've had some
Yes, sir.
folks ask me about that. Are all these driveways going to enter out on West Main?
They do. They come out onto West Main.
Mark, I remember voting on this and I wasn't a fan of it. I voted no, so help me out. That was a rezoning we voted on, correct, for the 19 lots? Now we're voting to plat it. Is that correct?
No, it was rezoned on the original subdivision. It was all part of two phases of the original subdivision of Birchwood, and this is Birchwood Overlook. So that was just the preliminary plat that we ran through before. It was already zoned correctly with a PUD overlay.
Okay. All right, it's just that direct access to West Main just
Yeah,
makes me nervous.
got some people asking.
And
about that.
that's why I voted no last time. Thank you, Mark.
You got it.
Are those homes gonna sit farther back for a better driveway or not?
They've got the same R1 setbacks, which is 25 feet from the road. What he's kind of proposed, they do set further back and they're a little bit larger home than what's in the Birchwood.
It's only 19 is all that can go in there, you said?
That's correct.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, I just wanted to interject briefly on 2 points. One, just because you only have 5 members of the council here tonight, I just wanted to point out that you actually will need 5 affirmative votes to pass this. And 2, just plat approval, just so the council is clear. It's considered to be a ministerial function, basically, that, you know, if they meet the criteria in the code, it's considered the council must approve it. Just so everyone's clear. It's different than a rezoning where you have a great deal of discretion. So no, I just wanted to be clear. If there was concerns about this, you may want to postpone second reading until there's more of you here. So
Good save, Brian. Good.
there you go.
You know my little brain.
Is there any other discussion? Is there any councilman that would like this bill carried forward to the next meeting? Do I have a motion to suspend the rules and read Bill 4756 for the second time in title only?
So moved.
Motion's been made. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, would you please read Bill 4756 for the second time?
Bill number 4756, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Festus, Missouri, approving the final plat of Birchwood Overlook and establishing an effective date. Councilman Tenon,
Yes.
Councilman Benz,
Yes.
Councilman Collier,
Yes.
Councilman Cook,
I'm a very hesitant yes, with a very strong opposition to it, but I don't want the city sued. A painful yes.
Councilman Boyer.
Yes.
Bill 4756 has passed.
Thank you all.
Do we have any new business? No new business. Any old business? No old business. Mayor and City Council reports. Councilman Boyer.
I have nothing at this time, sir.
Thank you. Councilman Cook.
Greg, I think the pre-meeting work sessions are an excellent idea. I'm probably one of the biggest guilty parties of the Friday messages not sticking, especially when the aggravation gets there on some issues and you're just kind of beat to death. And so I think it's a huge help and
Happy to help.
I think it's a good idea.
Thank you.
And that's all I have. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you, Councilman Collier.
Yeah, I'd just like to kind of bring up those new apartments there on A and 61, 67 are kind of going up pretty quick. So looks like we'll have a bunch more of those available here soon. And I did notice that the old Smokehouse Bar on American Legion Drive, looks like they're cleaning it up. Is that going to be possibly a new bar or something?
Correct. Yep, as a new leasee, and they're working for us. Doing just that.
Okay, that could be a good one, as long as they don't have the old clientele come back or whatever.
Right.
And also I noticed that the Fadler property, they're getting the infrastructure in and everything. Is there any word on any retail outlets or anything, or are we still tight-lipped about that?
I would like to go on record to say that's going to be a Costco, a Target, a Chick-fil-A, and no. Obviously, Tammy Fadler, yeah. Tammy Fadler is, if you read the Leader paper and the fine reporting work that Mr. Carberry does, Ms. Fadler has indicated perhaps in 6 months, she may have an announcement. So, but nothing to report at this time.
A lot of
Okay.
rumors.
All right, that's all I have. Thank you, sir.
All right. I'd like to throw in a Buffalo Wild Wings on that too.
They're all gonna be there.
Councilman Vens,
Nothing at this moment, sir.
thank you, sir. Councilman Tennant.
Just the normal stuff about the complaining about the water and unfortunately the sidewalks in front of the library, but you know, from my perspective is I've been building houses for a long time and it's amazing how when you're building somebody's house, it's okay to make a big mess. But when the house starts across the street, it's not okay. So, so that's how I see that. But other than that, that's all I have.
All righty. Short memories. That's right. I don't have anything myself other than, I received a letter today from the, Cultural Diversity, Committee about their luncheon, which is going to be, and I wrote it down somewhere. I gotta find it. It's gonna be the 24th of February at 11 o'clock. And in the past, when they've had it out at the hotel, which hotel is that?
Quality answer.
The Quality Inn. When they've had it at the Quality Inn, we have opted to not buy a table or participate in that luncheon because of the Quality Inn not having their business license and some of the
Other issues.
other issues that have gone on there. However, this luncheon is going to be at the Corpus Christi,
The Catholic Church up.
the
off-
Catholic Church
Correct.
off of Imperial, Maine. Is where it's going to be held this year. So
Mhm.
I would like for us to support that that luncheon and anybody that would like to go, you and your wife, let me know. And we have a table, we're going to purchase a table of 10. So if you want to go, let me know. Other than that, that's all I have. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Sorry, Mayor, if I could have.
No, that's.
Sound like a motion to second for sure.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion carries. This meeting is adjourned.